Hello, welcome back to Alps Panorama at the Northern Sea. And, hold on, I have to move my cat. Oh, he pushed the button, he paused it. Sorry about that. But anyway, where were we? Sorry, my cat distracted me. Oh yeah, we got to spread some fertilizer on these fields and start planting some stuff in them. So, we will run over here and grab our little Fendt again and hook it up to our fertilizer spreader over there. Here we go. Bam. And that should be plenty of fertilizer to get these two fields done. We'll just head over to our small field first. Here we go. Get this done real quick. And then once we get this done, we'll just have a worker start fertilizing our medium field over there, and we'll come through with the seeder and start planting something. Haven't made up my mind yet. I think I want to check the silo and see how much of stuff we got in there. Oh my, here comes my cat. He might push buttons again. Nope. We're good. We're in the clear, guys. But anyway, what I was saying is I'm going to check the silo and see what we actually have in there to see if we need to get a little bit more oats for the horses. I'm pretty sure we're good on barley and wheat for the chickens at the moment. But this is a good field to just plant oats in now and again to get horse food. Even though I can't remember, but I believe that we are good, and so I don't think we're going to need to do that. And if that's the case, we'll probably just put, I don't know, soybean in there. Just to help us along with some money for a while. Continue getting on our feet here. Okay. That was weird. Kind of got some lag when I tried to hire a worker. Completed their task. No, they have not. They haven't even started. There we go. Alright, so let's start. Let's take this over. This is, I know we can bring up the menu and check that way, but I just find this way to be the easiest and quickest method of figuring out what you have in your silo. So we have wheat, a little bit. We have a little bit of barley. We're a little, I'd say we're the lowest on oats, so I think oats would be the best thing to start with. And that way we can get a few more straw bales while we're at it. So, we'll just park this back here for now. And we will grab our case and switch this to oat. There we go. And we'll head back over to our little field and get this underway. Unfold it, line up here. I know I'm overshooting it a bit on the right side there, but I just don't want to miss any, as always. That guy's going to be done fertilizing far before we're done over here. It's looking good. The horses don't really seem to go through oat very often, but I just don't want to... Wow, Ozzy, calm down. I don't want to come to a point where they need it and I don't have it, so... I think it's a better idea just to keep a good amount on hand for any given moment when the horses might need some. Better to be safe than sorry, I guess is what I'm trying to say in simpler terms. Plus, like I said, the Getting some straw bales isn't bad. Helper F has finished their task. Or completed their task. That's some quick work you did there, Helper F. I'm still super interested in seeing which field turns out to be biggest. I'm hoping, like I've been saying, that our new field that we just made is bigger than that field, the medium field, but I have my doubts. I'm sure we'll see here soon in the next, probably the next episode, maybe this episode, depending on how fast they continue growing over there. But hopefully when everything's said and done, despite, no matter which field is bigger, we'll get some good money. Hopefully the price for canola is pretty decent, because we'll have a pretty big chunk of canola, seeing as how we had, all 4 of our fields had canola in them. Probably would have been a little bit better on the wallet if we would have had soybeans in there. But canola is really good. Alright. A little over halfway done with the small field. One thing we might actually look into getting is a bigger seeder. I'm not quite sure which seeder we would get. I haven't even looked into it. But with all the fields we have now, it might be a good idea to look into getting a bigger one. I know this one's not small by any means. It's a decent size. But if we could get a bigger one, it would definitely help us. And we might hang on to this one even if we do get a bigger one, just because we've used this one for so long. It's got quite a bit of hours on it. It's got at least 14 hours on it. I don't know if the resale value is going to be there. You know, it's going to be top notch. It's going to be even worth it. I mean, yeah, it's going to give us a few extra grand, but I think it might be worth it just to hang on to it in case we eventually start expanding our farm further outwards, to the point where it's not close to our main farm over here, and then we can keep this one over by our other fields, if in the future that does happen. That way we don't have to transfer items back and forth so much. But we will have to see how it goes. That's what I'd like to do, though. And then that way we can expand our farm to another location and have 2 different locations going on, but have equipment for both. That's what I did on Michigan, on the Michigan map, Michigan farms. I had 2 separate farm bases, or areas, as whatever you want to call it, farm yards, I guess would be the appropriate way to put that, where each one had their own set of harvesters and planters and tractors and everything going on over there. I just had one main silo, though. The biggest pain in the butt was I would have to move bales from one point to the other every once in a while, because my cows were on one farm and then basically everything else was on the other. And so when I'd have to move my straw bales, I'd have to move them from one farm all the way to the other farm. It wasn't the easiest, especially because I got like over 150 bales on each one of my big fields that I had, and I could only transfer, I think they were square bales, so it's what, 16? I believe it's 16. Could be wrong. Maybe it's 18. But 16 or 18 bales at a time with the auto stacker trailer, and that was a job and a half. All right, so we are going to put soybeans, as I said earlier, in these fields. But what we're going to do first is we're just going to start the worker down here. After we get him overlapping a bit. And try not to take out the tree. There we go. And then we're going to run over to our fertilizer spreader and finish up the strip that our worker missed, because they always miss one little strip. And then we'll go back over to our little field over there and throw down the second coat of fertilizer. So, and then after that's done, we'll come back and, well, probably come back and take over for our guy over yonder. There we go. One thing I wanted to look at, nope, wrong one, was this. If we bought that piece of land, in theory we could spread, well, see, this is where it becomes a problem. I think I looked at this before. Here, let me get the mouse. And this piece will come out like this into the road, won't it? Not only that, but it comes really close to that. I have to cut down that tree. Anyway, what I'm thinking about is trying to think about expanding this field a bit. And if we followed this, technically it probably could work. Especially if we came through with some landscaping and smoothed it out. Took out that tree, smoothed this out. And then we could expand the field to what? To like about here? And then bring it down. Try keeping the well, it would be, instead of being a square, it would now be a rectangle, and then come down to here, and that would expand this field quite a bit. And in all reality, we could even put in another field, or keep expanding the one field all the way down around here. That might be a good idea. It might. This is all of the one piece of land that you'd buy, right? Yeah. It's not a bad price either, 151,000. Maybe when we sell our horses, this is the one we'll get right here. But that will have to wait, because our horses are, let's see, where are they at exactly? I know they're not anywhere close. See, these ones are only at 11,000. These ones are at 26, so they're like halfway there. So it's going to be a few days, in-game days, which is going to be quite a few real-life days before we'll get there. So let's not plan ahead. I know I'm always planning way far ahead. I'm a bit overzealous here. Oh, and just so you guys know, my daughter is actually coming up on her summer break. She's going to be out of school over the summer, you know, as most kids are. And I'm not sure what that's going to do to my recording. I mean, I'm a single parent, and my daughter's with me all the time. So, and like I said, I don't want to take time away from her to do my recording. But I'm going to try to put out a video every day still. I'm just not sure how it's gonna work. I mean, I know you guys probably, it won't bother you guys, but you might hear her in the background because my computer's in the living room, my PC that I use, and her computer is right next to mine, and then right next to that is our TV that she plays PlayStation 4 on. And so, I don't know, there might be a bit of distraction other than I mean, we always have the bird in the background, but my daughter might be here, and so just so you guys know, I mean, there might be times I don't record because we're busy doing stuff, because it is summer and we're gonna go fishing and stuff, but I just want you guys to be aware of what's going on, and so you guys don't think I just abandoned you and stopped recording and stuff. It's not that at all. It's just I have other things going on right now. and I have to figure out a good recording schedule because I don't record my videos in advance. I know a lot of people do. They have like a lineup of videos to release one every day at the same time, but let's just say I'm not that professional. I'm not like that. I just kind of record the video and then I edit it and I release it all on the same day. So if I miss a day or if there's a lot of noise in the background, you'll have to forgive me, but there's nothing I can do about it at the moment. As of right now, I record when my daughter's not home, so it's just me and my loud animals that we have to deal with. But anyway, enough of that. You guys probably don't care. Let's just finish getting this field done with soybean. Actually, I do want to take a look at the seeders. So we're going to hire a worker, because now that I was talking about it, it's got me interested. So seeders, we have this one. I prefer the seeders that don't have fertilizer in them. And I like the direct drills. You don't have to cultivate. So we're looking at this one. It's a 6-meter spread. This one's a 9-meter spread, but as you can see, it has fertilizer and seeds, and I don't like that. So here's this one. It's a 12-meter. It's double, and it's only seeds. But this is this one isn't a direct drill, so you would have to cultivate. Then the next, dang, that's what we got here, huh? Well, here's the horse ones. They require 320 horsepower. This one's 14.4, but it carries fertilizer in it, doesn't it? Yeah, see, I don't like that. I'm not a fan of it. So honestly, as it's looking, we might just have to buy another one of these. Have 2 of them going. But I don't see a benefit of having 2 of them. So maybe we'll just have to stick with what we got. It's getting the job done perfectly. And this one I don't want to get, this would be nice, but I don't want to have to cultivate every single time. I don't know. I guess we'll have to look at that in the future. As for right now, we will just continue let this guy doing his job. Or when he gets to the other end, we'll take over. Mine is, we don't need to pay somebody else to do our work for us. And I said this guy, I should have said this lady. Alright, there we go. Try to get that lined up so I can come around here and get a wicked screenshot, gotta have a good thumbnail picture. Good. At least we lined it up straight. Usually I do that and then it just goes all wonky. But it looks like it kept a pretty decent line. I prefer using this seeder with this tractor by far because, like I said in the previous video, the Valtra seems to get hung up on it. It seems like maybe its turn radius is sharper than the case. It doesn't seem to be that's what's going on, because it actually seems like the case can turn all the way around and come right back down like this without any hassle. And the Valtra, it seems like its tires get hung up on the trailer back there. I'm not sure why or what's happening there, but see, look, I can just flip around a little like this and come right back in without having to readjust. It's just real quick. But with the Valtra, maybe it's probably just me, but I have a harder time. It seems like I have to have a harder time lining back up. But then again, this is why we got this tractor, was to pull this seeder, so it does its job very well. Works good for plowing too, with our little plows that we have. It's nowhere near powerful enough for the bigger plows. I actually tried it when we were plowing up the grass field. Didn't work so well. Not enough horsepower. Even our new Valtra doesn't have enough horsepower, but then again, it only has. I think this. I'm always guessing this, and I've talked about it a few times, but this tractor seems to have, I believe it has like 270 horsepower when it's all maxed out, when it's got all of its upgrades on it. And the Valtra, geez, I want to say it has 280, 290. So, yeah, it's not even that much more powerful. The only benefit of the Valtra is the fact that you can hook up machines to the front of the tractor and have them work, such as a mower. Mainly, just a mower. I don't know what other equipment you put on the front of a tractor that needs power. I haven't come across any yet, but keep in mind I am a noob. I haven't used tons of equipment. I just like to stick with what I know for now. Eventually I'll get into using the other equipment, but I'm going to try to steer clear of logging. I'll leave that to the pros because that's just frustration, man. My hat's off to all of you gentlemen, and well, ladies and gentlemen I should say, that are out there doing logging, not only in real life but in the game. In real life I could probably do it. It wouldn't be nowhere near as frustrating. But in the game, I don't know if it's the physics or I don't understand it. It boils my blood, man. I've said a few times, at least in the Michigan farms, I should just do a logging video just to show you guys how bad I am at it. Some comic relief. It's pretty embarrassing. Especially if I'm using the log. I mean, like, I have no problem cutting down the trees with my chainsaw, and then cutting them up in small pieces, throwing them in the back of my trailer, and then going to sell them that way. That's fine. It takes a long time, but it's no big deal. I can do that. But when it comes to using the logging equipment, no thanks. No thank you. I'll pass. It's a hard pass, man. I am horrible at it. Maybe if I practiced more, I'd be better at it, but then again, practicing would just have me irate, so we'll just steer clear of that right there. Whoa, hey Tiger, get out of the way. Alright, so soybeans have been planted, oats have been planted. Let's just come up here real quick and fertilize our soybeans. So they are ready to go. Get out of here, birds. Don't eat our freshly planted seeds. Man, I love how wide this fertilizer spreader spreads. It makes fertilizing just so easy. I'm sure real farmers in real life think the same thing. There's like, oh, yay, relief. I just have to fertilize today. Just a quick drive through the field. In real life, I'm like I've said many times, I'm not a farmer. in real life, when the farmers are fertilizing or having to drive through their fields, I know that that's why we have these narrow tires on. It's because they're skinny. Is when they plant their fields, do they plant it in a certain way? Like, do they leave rows for their tires to drive through? Because, I mean, driving over crops, even if you have skinny tires on, these tractors are heavy. It's just going to crush them. Do they leave rows to drive through, or is it just, what would you say? It's just not a risk they're willing to take. I just can't think of the better word for it. It's, they expect to lose some of their crop due to getting driven on, so they calculate for that. Man, I can't think. I know there's a better way to phrase this, but I just can't come up with it. I'm sure you guys get what I mean, though. They expect some of the crop to be driven on, so they're not too upset when it happens. I mean, they don't want it. Of course they don't. They try to drive on it as least as possible, and I'm sure if they do one row and they crush the crop, then if they have to come through with the tractor for some other reasons, to fertilize again or whatnot, I'm sure they try to follow that same path. But yeah, I'm just curious. The main thing I'm wondering is, do they leave spots out of where they plant so they can drive on it, or do they just drive on it and accept the fact that some of this stuff's going to be ruined in the process? I mean, of course, putting the fertilizer on there is going to pay off in the long run, because then their plants are going to get bigger, healthier, stronger, produce more, which in turn will make them more money. But as of right now, you guys, I think this is all we got. I know it's probably another shorter video today, but I'm not going to go looking for work that we don't need to do. What I'll probably end up doing is passing time, at least until one of these fields is ready. I'll do this off camera anyway, and one of these fields is ready to be harvested, or these fields get weeds in them. I'm probably going to try to get both going so we have more things to do, because right now we're just super caught up on everything. I thought getting these animals would give us more tasks to do, more things to accomplish, and so we wouldn't ever run into these problems, but what I think it is we're just too efficient nowadays. We become super efficient at getting this stuff done. So yeah, expansion is necessary to keep us busy. But in order to expand, we need to make money, and so this is the slow process of waiting for revenue to come in. But thanks for bearing with me, and we will get back at this shortly. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. And once again, I apologize about the short duration of the video today. But you guys have yourselves a wonderful day, and I will see you soon.